Okay, so next step, we're going to try to get these knobs off, which really haven't been removed. This one's coming off, this one's coming off. Oh man, this one just doesn't want to come off. So let me grab a, I hate to do it, but a plier just to kind of break it loose. Okay, so got the plier. I gotta try to break this one loose. I don't want to mar anything, so I'm going to use a cloth, get around the knob, grab it, and see if I can. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, that'll come loose now. Let me get all four off now. I'll lay them out in order. It shouldn't matter. They're all the same, I think, but it's always just a habit. Things back kind of the way you found them. All right. Now, I want to definitely do another thing here. There's a few keys that I'm interested in more so. Grab my pencil, and I'm going to mark the ones that I definitely want to take a good look at. Because once I lift the action out, you can probably hear that rattle still back there even, but it's going to be this one here, and that's also number 26 actually. So I'll try to figure out where that's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from up in here as opposed to down below. Then there's the G up here. Actually sounds like it might be coming from the center rail pin. But anyways, let me mark it. That's 59. And I'm just going to put a little spot here on the hammer butt. And then a little clicking coming out of 61. That almost sounds like it's coming from the front pin area, but I don't know. We'll just put a little click there. Coming from the action up in here. It's not, yeah, it sounds like it's definitely coming from up in there. So anyways, three keys I definitely want to look at. 59, 61, and 26 marked. Yeah, marked. Just a little bit of pencil in. Now I'm going to lift the action out. Hopefully. The one thing I have picked up from YouTube videos working on upright pianos, this is again similar upright kind of structure, at least what it looks like to me. I'll find out soon enough, but the main thing I'm worried about really are these four bolts that are very strong metal. They have no give. You know, if you look at all the hammers and the dampers, these are all wooden and felt, delicate. So the idea is to move it off of these bolts, rock it back a little, and then carefully lift it straight out so that none of these dampers or hammers catch on these metal bolts, because they can do a lot of damage. So, don't know how heavy it is, I'll find out in a second, but we'll lift this out and see what happens. Okay, looks like it wants to come out. Okay, it's resting on these posts. I can rock it back just a little bit. The pedal areas look like they'll release off of this, so I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to be very careful about the damper. Okay, I'm going to get this back and away. lifts out as a unit. This is kind of nice. Yeah, if you just kind of look at it, I'm going to rest, I'll use my leg as one of these posts here, I guess. Be very careful. Maybe I can just rest it. Here's the legs on the bottom. I'll use the side here on the chair. But anyways, it gives me access to all the mechanisms. I've marked a couple of just a little bit of pencil dots on them, as to which ones I want to look at more closely, but I can look at everything. Maybe just tighten these screws down just a little bit. And the hammers, there's a lot of dust in here, but try to clean that all up. But anyways, that's removing the action. I'll set it down on the floor here. Yeah, sits right up nice. And let me give you a little closer look with the camera. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. One solid unit. And definitely try to figure out what's going on with it. And now we can take a little better look inside the piano. Kind of see how this looks. So we'll go to work on this now, and especially try to take a closer look here at a few of these keys, 59, 61, or 60, yeah, 50, 61 that are marked, and clean all this area out. That'll be next. Okay, so next step is to blow out any dust from the action. Got it laying out here in the garage. It's a little chilly out here in the winter. I have my shop vac, which I'm going to use. I cleaned it all out on the inside. It's clean. And I got the hose on the exhaust for this shop vac. That's how that works. Close. And what I'm going to do is blow it all out as best I can and get rid of some of the dust from the last 25, 30 years. Okay, I get rid of most of the dust. Okay, so I've got the action here on the kitchen table, and one thing I've noticed already, and I'm trying to figure out where that rattle's coming from, is if you look at the damper mechanism here, this is the only one that actually rubs up against sort of the whip in here, and everything else has clearance all the way across every other key. So I'm thinking that could be one source. The other source I've noticed is that as I push against the damper, it feels like it takes a lot less force. I'm wondering if there's a spring right back behind here. I'm going to displace it for a second. Right here. There it is, and you can see it now here. Each one of these has a spring to return, and this one feels kind of weak. I'm just wondering if it's picking up a rattle after it bounces, and maybe the spring comes off the wood a little and rattles. So I'll try to bend this just slightly forward, put a little more tension on it, so it feels more like these others as I push against it. And then I think I'm going to try to get a little bit of clearance here. And I'm a little worried to do that, but I think I need to try ever so slightly there to get this off of this, because it's the only one like that. I think that might be a problem. Anyway, give that a shot. Okay, back again. I just did a little, the slightest of bends, and it's just clear of the whipping. And I also just slightly bent that spring I showed you. And now it feels like I got the same roughly pushback. And
they sound the same now too when I kind of flip them back and forth. I'm not getting that extra click or clackety click here down here. And I just very, very carefully, and the way I did it is I held it here because I did not want to stress the wood piece at all. And then took another pair. I might just do it just a little more here. But hold this in place with your left hand and just gently work with the right. Just the slightest amount. And it's just clear now. It's not touching. And between that and the tighter spring, maybe that'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. One thing else too, I've made this one adjustment, and I think it is clear now. But I am going to go through these whipping screws, and I'm just going to snug them up. I've done 3 or 4 here, and I felt they were just a little loose, and hardly any pressure at all. Oh, there's a little bit right there. Yeah, a little bit. Just not much. Just a little bit. I don't want to stress anything. I just want to snug it just a little. And I'm gonna go through all that now. Just adjusting these whipping screws. So you can see over here, just a little bit of a turn, hardly any, just a little bit. And I'm being very gentle, very, very gentle. I don't like messing with some of this stuff too much. But I do know that these can be a source of causing clicks and rattles. And they're just a little loose, not a lot, just a little bit, just very lightly, gently doing it. So I'm going to go all the way down, now the other end and do them. Okay, and then the other thing I'm going to adjust are these from the top. There's the spring, and I wonder if that screw might be slightly loose. So I'm going to try to adjust that, tighten it just a little bit if it's not snug. Okay, so back again here. Now looking at the other side of the action here. Hammer butts that I marked, and to be honest, I can't see any difference here, and I don't think the issue is here. It's roughly the same amount of movement and deflection as the ones next to them. I don't hear anything. Again, I'm no piano technician, but everything seems to be moving correctly, and it doesn't seem to be making any funny sounds as I move them, so I think it might be in the keys. So let's look there next.